All right, let's dive into a really challenging idea today, one that comes from a sermon called The Danger of a Casual Jesus. And believe me, this concept, it gets right to the very heart of what a genuine faith is all about. Think about this for a second. You know that first sip of a perfect, piping hot coffee in the morning? It's energizing, it's comforting, it is exactly what you want it to be. Or, hey, flip that. Imagine it's a crazy hot day, you've been working outside, and someone hands you a glass of ice-cold water. That's not just refreshing, right? It feels absolutely life-giving. See, both hot and cold are good. They're desirable. They serve a purpose. But what happens when you're expecting one of those and instead you get something right in the middle? That tepid, stagnant, room temperature drink. You know that feeling. Our immediate, almost physical reaction is just, you want to spit it out. This universal human reaction is precisely the one that's used right here to describe a spiritual state. Now, notice something really important. This verse from Revelation, it doesn't condemn being cold. A cold person, they at least know they need warmth. No, the most offensive state, the one that provokes this visceral reaction from God, is being lukewarm. So why? Why is being lukewarm so deeply offensive? Well, the sermon frames it as a deep, personal insult. It's a profound relational slight. Let's break that down with an analogy that'll make it super clear. To really get this, just imagine a marriage proposal. Picture somebody getting down on one knee, looking their partner right in the eyes and popping the question, but with a whole list of conditions attached. I mean, just look at this contrast. On one side, you've got these lukewarm vows. I'm about 50% committed. I promise I won't cheat on you too often. I'll help out with some of the bills. Can you even imagine? Would anyone in their right mind accept that? Of course not. It's a profound insult. It reduces the sacred covenant of marriage to just a casual arrangement. A real covenant is all of me for all of you, forsaking all others, for better or for worse. And that is the very heart of the issue. The lukewarm person is approaching their relationship with God with those exact same insulting terms. They want a casual Jesus. They want him as a consultant, someone whose advice they can take or leave when it's convenient. But they absolutely refuse to submit to him as king, the rightful authority over every single part of their lives. And this all boils down to priority. The sermon uses this powerful imagery of the speck versus the infinite. The speck, that's our little world of self-interest, our career, our comfort, our reputation. The infinite, well, that's God. And the lukewarm heart is completely consumed with protecting and polishing its own little speck, all while treating the infinite God as little more than an insurance policy, just a fire escape for the afterlife.
But this lukewarmness, it leads to an even more subtle and maybe even more dangerous problem. It's a kind of self-deception the sermon calls the good person trap.
This verse is such a sobering warning, isn't it? The lukewarm person is often completely blind to their true spiritual state. They look at their speck, their life, and they think, you know what? I'm doing okay. I'm a pretty good person. I don't really need a thing. But spiritually, the reality couldn't be more different. To illustrate this kind of self-deception, picture a lifeboat, way out in the middle of the ocean, and this lifeboat has a slow, but very definite leak. Okay, so on this sinking boat, there are two people. One of them sees the water rising and completely understands the mortal danger he's in. He is frantically bailing water, screaming for someone to rescue him. The other person? He's totally ignoring the leak. Instead, he's busy polishing the wood on the boat, admiring the crashing ship, and thinking to himself, well, at least I'm not panicking like that guy over there. So let me ask you, who is truly in greater peril? The man who knows he's drowning and is desperate for help, or the man who is blissfully unaware, polishing the wood on a sinking ship? The answer is obvious, isn't it? The greatest danger of all is not realizing you're in danger in the first place.
And this is exactly how good deeds can become a dangerous mask. For the good person who's trapped in lukewarmness, being not that bad is a defense mechanism. Their good works aren't flowing from a heart that loves God. No, they're a strategy to feel self-sufficient. It's a way to keep God at a safe, manageable distance, and it masks the true, desperate condition of their heart.
So if that's the diagnosis, what's the cure for this dangerous condition? Well, it's surprisingly simple, but it's probably not what you're thinking.
The answer is not to just grit your teeth and try harder to be a hot Christian. That's just another form of self-effort. That's just polishing the wood on the sinking boat, but with more intensity. It's still based on your own strength, and it will not fix the leak.
No, the actual path forward is one of surrender. It starts by just realizing your true condition, admitting you are spiritually poor and desperate without Him. Then you have to stop obsessing over decorating your speck, your little personal kingdom. And finally, you simply open the door.
And this is the final powerful image we're left with. The cure for lukewarmness isn't about our frenzied activity. It is simply responding to an invitation that is already being made. Jesus is already there, standing at the door and knocking. The only question left is, will you open it?